can bring a check at the next Tea Party meeting. So that's why I'm back there. That's what we're doing. We think it's a worthy project, and certainly our veterans deserve anything we can do along the way. We're working with the American Legion Post 633 in Newberry to pull this off.
663, I think.
663, I'm sorry. Yeah, 663.
Thank you, Denver. Next thing I want to do very quickly, Julie Daner, come on up here. Julie is the president of Geauga County Right to Life, and she'd like to say a few words concerning our recent garage sale.
You were there, you worked.
You got to speak up even on the mic. Don't talk like a sis.
He's not allowed to stand behind me for obvious reasons.
Okay, get close.
He likes to pick fun of people. Just wanted to say real quick that we had a fairly successful garage sale this past week. We didn't meet our goal, but we came relatively close to what our goal was. And as I'm sure you've heard him say, none of us take a salary for what we do. And what we do, we feel, is one of the most important things that anybody can do, which is to save the least among us, which is the babies. We do have another, well, before I get into that, I just wanted to thank everybody who came out to show their support, who came out to volunteer, set up, organize, take down. Without any of you guys, we really couldn't have, done it by ourselves. And we do have another, on the back there's a flyer, we have another fundraiser coming up. It's going to be on the Readiness and Preparedness Conference, and there will be donations taken that will benefit Geauga County Right to Life. We have to get these babies saved. Even if we only save one baby a week, it's a baby that we're saving. So I just want to thank you again and for coming out, and hope that we'll see you guys there. It's on Saturday, August 16th. We're having it at Parkside in Solon. And Sunday, August 17th, it'll be at Dewar's, our sister church, which is out in Portland. So.
Thank you. Again, I want to thank all of you, and Julie, for working all the hard work and all the hard work that you all did. Folks, in our ministry, if you know this or not, but since 1974, we've saved over 23,000 babies. And a lot of those that we've saved, you folks out there, you activists, raise your hand. Those that are up, get up there. Amen. Give them a hand. Everybody give them a big hand. Because they're out there on the streets, in the rain, in the shine, 52 weeks a year. We're those radicals that people point at and say, what are those people doing? We're out there saving babies. Not only that, but I can tell you this. We've had more people led to the Lord receiving Christ as their Savior out in front of those great old gates of hell than in all those old dead churches in the area. And that's the fact. But anyhow, I want to thank you again for that. And the readiness conference that she was talking about, preparedness, the flyers are on the table in the back. And we're going to be discussing a couple things. Dan Ramada is going to be talking about giving us an update on Islam. As you know, today in London, England, 1/3 of that city is controlled by Muslims, and 1/3 of that city is under Sharia law. They have Sharia courts in London, England today, in areas where the police are not even allowed there. Now, they've got a very good start in Dearborn, Michigan right now, and they're moving in this country fast. So Dan is going to be giving us an update on that. Skip Claypool, who will be coming up here in a minute. Where are you, Skip? Come on up here, Skip. He's going to be giving us an update out there too on the Nawaka, the Agenda 21 people. They're moving quickly. And how many of you think you pay enough for gasoline? How many would you like to pay another 16 cents per gallon? Heck. Think about that. Anyhow, Skip's going to be telling you about what happened just recently. But before we get into that, very quickly, I just want to say, also, we're going to have Give Ingwer. Did I pronounce it right? Give, where are you?
I'm right in front of you.
Oh, Give.
Camo. couldn't see me, I'm camouflaged.
Yeah, you can't see him, he's in camouflage, folks. Anyhow, he's going to be telling us about survival. And along with Dan Haas in the back right there, and maybe some others too, we'll be announcing that. You don't want to miss these. We need to be prepared because we don't know what's coming our way, believe me. The Lord is full of surprises out there today, right? We live in exciting times. So anyhow, also Wendy Wilson, how many of you know about Wendy Wilson? Raise your hand. Wendy's probably one of the best known herbalists in the country. She has some of the very best natural medicines. That's all I take. In my house, all we have is natural herbal medicines. There's no side effect. You don't see these commercials that if you take this drug, you could die by a slow, painful death, whatever. No, these are natural herbs, what God has given us. She'll be there along with Sarah Fowler. And Sarah's going to give us updates on what they're doing with Common Core. So the flyers are on the back table. You'll be hearing it announced on the radio. Also, wanted to say this. There's 2 of these books back there from Larry Nichols. These books, well, I'm going to tell you, they're powerful. He hits the nail on the head when it comes to, number 1, who is the Tea Party, what I said a long time ago, and the strategy, how we can win coming up. There's 2 left. Now, normally these books are $20. We have sold them here for $10. But for the first 2 people that sign up tonight that as Tea Party members, it's a $20 fee for the first 2 people that sign up for it and spend that $20 to become Tea Party members. You do not have to live in Geauga County. You'll get one of these books. So you can run back there and sign up, and you'll get one of the books, first 2 people. All right, one other thing, very quickly. Dan, raise your hand. That's Dan Haas. Dan has a tablet back there, and in there he has the different counties listed. How many of you are aware of courtroom observers? Okay. Well, we head up the courtroom observers around, and I'm going to tell you something. When the courtroom observers show up, things change in the courtrooms today. They change in a major way. We've had many people who were basically slam dunked, set up, where they would have gone to prison had not we shown up. In many cases, we've had cases totally dismissed only because they had a lot of eyes and a lot of ears in that courtroom. So in that, he has it for Ashtabula, Lake, Geauga, Cuyahoga, Trumbull, and Summit counties. If you're from any of those counties, sign up in there as a courtroom observer, because I'm going to tell you, if you're a Christian and you believe or a patriot, chances are you're going to need in the coming future courtroom observers there to be with you. And with that, I'm going to ask Skip to tell us what took place at the last Nowaka meeting.
Here's what I'm allowed to say about that.
Say it anyhow, Skip.
I actually bought Paul Schweigford.
Come on up, Paul.
with me. I'm going to ask him to say a few words in a second, because I will tell you this. There's an article in the Chagrin Valley Times today by the director of NOACA because of a comment that I made the week before in an article claiming that NOACA is in support of a 15 cents a gallon gas tax increase. And they called me a liar, basically. Read the article, judge for yourself. There's going to be another article. I won't talk to you more about it than that. There's some shenanigans going on right now that I'm not allowed to talk about, and there's going to be some stuff coming up. But I will tell you this. I need your help, because I am under attack by these guys. And not only them. I mean, my opponents are after me, and they are not nice. Let's put it in nice terms. Okay, so there is a concerted effort to mitigate or to malign me and to make sure that I don't get elected this year. And the only way that I can survive this is with you guys, with your help. I'm going to need money. I'm going to need you watching what's going on. I'm going to need you being vocal out there. You know me. Many of you have known me for quite a while, so you know what's in my heart. And and so forth. So I need you to back me, I need you to pray for me, and I need you to support me, because, you know, again, I can't talk much about it. I'm being told that I have to keep my mouth shut for a period of time. There's going to be stuff coming in the near future. Next Thursday, 7 o'clock at the Geauga County Commissioner's Office. Is it 6:30? I thought it was 7 o'clock. Okay, thank you for the correction. 6:30 at the Geauga County Commissioner's Office, Building 8. The director for NOACA and the head of the District Department of Transportation are going to be coming to the Commissioner's Office to make a special presentation about about our gas tax and how much they collect and where it goes and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to ask you to show up, and we need to fill that room, and we will provide you with some insights that they may not provide to you. And so I'll leave it go with that. But with that said, Paul can say more about what happened last Friday than I'm permitted to say, and so I'm going to invite Paul to come up and say a few words. And by the way, I'm wearing this for a reason. If you're in the raffle tonight, we can negotiate dinner. I've got some folks who have been talking about turtle soup, some folks who have been talking about spaghetti, there's some hot dogs, a champagne thing. I'm well versed at making a lot of different stuff. My specialty is hillbilly, and so if you're all into hillbilly food, we can get it. I've got a freezer full of venison. We can take care of that if you want. Anyway, with that, Paul, thank you.
I'm not a long-winded speaker, but I'd like to share with you, and I'll be real brief on this, a letter I wrote in our community. I'm in Summit County, but we're sending this out to our residents, and it kind of explains what's going on, and it's a brief letter. So let me read this to you, and then you can take it with you so you really know what it's about. You can share it with people. The past 3 months, we have discussed the nonprofit Northeast Ohio Sustainable Communities Consortium, Vibrant Neil. Vibrant Neil would like to implement their vision across the 12-county area. The new buzzwords being used to attain this goal are regionalism and sustainability. This is a semantic sleight of hand for predetermined push on who gets the elevator and who gets the shaft. The terms regionalism and sustainability are being touted across America as growing jobs or the economy. These pleasant-sounding names are nothing more than a way to push centralized planning from HUD, the EPA, and the Department of Transportation. The end goal of this extremely flawed institutional design is to have people move back into the central city. Regionalism, as currently implemented, would take autonomy from local governments. No one would ever be held accountable or responsible because an unelected bureaucracy would control the process. Even now, at its inception, it is difficult to raise opposition. Discussion is limited to 2 minutes. In May, I went to a policy committee meeting and was not allowed to speak. I was told what I wanted to discuss was not on the agenda. This type of bureaucratic government is known as a COG, or Council of Governments. And another abbreviated term for that is MPO, Municipal Planning Organization. They're one and the same. An example of how a COG works can be seen through the Northeast Regional Sewer District. They impose a stormwater fee of $9 per month on average. The fee was voted on by the COG because those in favor would have stormwater projects in their community. Sagamore Hills Township sued, and the out-of-court settlement went from Sagamore Hills receiving 7 cents on the dollar to 25 cents and the ability to opt out in 5 years. The Ohio Supreme Court will issue a final ruling this fall. Many of Vibrant Neil's 41 initiatives will divert much-needed highway money into transportation that the majority of people will not use, bus and rail. Both forms of transportation are highly subsidized. The taxpayer will be assessed a fee. As designed, you will be limited in what you can say, and you will not get the opportunity to vote it down. Vibrant Neil wants to implement a land value tax, that's an LVT. It encourages concentrated living spaces. Land value taxes assess property on what they should be worth rather than what it's worth. The degree of accuracy in land value assessment will not be in your favor. LVTs are used in Russia, Singapore, and Taiwan. It was used in Pittsburgh but discontinued in 2001 after 80 years. The tax on land was nearly 6 times higher than our current system of evaluating property. Lastly, Vibrant Neal wants to implement inclusionary zoning in markets with widespread affordability gaps. Vibrant Neal would like to see a minimum of 7 homes per acre. Our position is neither the Council of Governments nor the federal government should try to mandate local zoning. If you'd like additional information, you can call me at my home. This is a letter we're putting out to our residents to tell you about Skip, and I'll really be brief. Here's a couple of things that happened. Several months ago, I went to a meeting. Skip asked the people at the meeting, there's 45 members. He said, how many people read Vibrant Neal? 5 people raised their hand. Of the 5, your county commissioner that's currently serving did not raise her hand, and she said Vibrant Neal would have no effect in Geauga County because you had ironclad zoning out here. Now, I've read the Vibrant Neal plan. It doesn't say if any community gets ironclad zoning. That's not what it says. When they're talking about putting trains on, your transportation dollar. They want to run a train from Youngstown to Akron, and then they want to run a train from Akron to Cleveland. Okay, this would be a boondoggle of epic proportions. Okay, because nobody is going to ride those, and plus you'd have to ride a car, park it somewhere, and then catch the train. It's never going to work. All right, but yet they're pushing this in the Vibrant Neal plan. Around the country, other MPOs, those are municipal planning organizations. There's one in Minneapolis known as Thrive. I have some information on it. It's a classic MPO. They're kind of modeling themselves here after the Thrive plan. Just to give you an idea, in Minneapolis, a house that costs $587,000, the exact same house in Houston would cost $187,000. And it's because Thrive is literally taking over Minneapolis. And it's unbelievable what they're doing up there. And then the one final thing I want to say is, I think I had it right here. Oh, they keep on saying, this MPO, this COG keeps on saying, Vibrant Neal says they're just making recommendations. Okay? But they want to hire, if you read the plan, they want to hire a full-time staff. And if you really believe they're going to hire full-time people just to make recommendations, then you're deluded. There's something wrong there. There's delusions of grandeur there, all right? This doesn't happen. I want you to know that you can go online, look under Bay Area 1 Plan. That's another MPO out in San Francisco. It has 4 lawsuits against it. The Thrive Plan is up in Minneapolis. You can get on that. They have another COG in Des Moines, Iowa. They're all over the country. And really what these MPOs or these COGs want to do is to take over local zoning. So it's something that I have a lot of information on. I'd like to pass this stuff out to you folks tonight. I have the one on the gas tax. This came from Investors Daily on how they're wasting the money that's meant for highway transportation. So,
Can you tell them, Paul, what happened with that gas tax thing in last Friday's meeting?
yeah, I stood up and talked about it, and explained to them, you know, 8 out of every $10 that are headed for highways are not being spent on highways. They just virtually ignored it. It's like it never existed. And I was dumbfounded that they had, I don't know, out of the 45 members that attended that meeting, you might have had maybe 32 there. And the only person that spoke up out of the entire group was Skip. Everybody else just thought that this long-winded resolution that they passed endorsing, they didn't want to come out and say it, but they really want that money. And they even actually say that in some of their minutes is, MPOs will get a lot more money if this gas tax goes through. So these are your tax dollars, and I'm really opposed. You know, as an elected official, I don't care if you come to a meeting and throw me out of office. That's our democratic right. You should have the right to vote somebody out of office. When you get into these bureaucratic messes like this, there's no accountability. And I think anybody that runs for public office should be accountable to the people. And you know, I know you folks vote because you're here, but it's the vast majority of people that don't vote that are running the country. So we need to get them out, and I'll tell you what, Skip does not exaggerate when they say they're after him. It's just unbelievable, the daggers that you can see flying anytime he opens up. And if it was me, I don't live in Geauga County, but I'll tell you what, I drove over here about 45 miles to support Skip because they want to get into Summit County. They would like to get in our county, they've got some of our tax dollars already, that's how I got involved with this, but you need to take it up a notch. If you're spending 20 minutes a day on it, you need to do 40 minutes a day. Because you got a chance to get a county commissioner, I don't know if you know this, there's only 88 counties in Ohio. So you have at least one commissioner, maybe more, that'll speak out against this stuff, and maybe we can put the kibosh on it before it gets out of control here. But I think this is very important. We got one guy. You know, they say one guy on the right is the majority. So right now, in my book, Skip's the majority. That's how I feel. And if you folks don't step it up, he's not going to get in because he is a marked man. It's like a deer in the woods with a bullseye on him. I'm not kidding you when I say that. Yes, ma'am.
Was that a public meeting?
Yes, it was.
Then why can't you speak? Why can't you talk? Why can't you say that?
It's a bureaucracy.
Well, I am permitted to speak. I did speak.
No, why can't you tell us what happened?
Oh, well, there's some legal things going on right now. I can't tell you what the action the WACA just took. Shut me up. It will be coming out shortly. But I'm under the instruction of an attorney right now that I gotta keep my mouth shut and keep my head down. Because they are at it. See this red card?
I didn't say that.
Well, I think I'll just tell her she's doing certain things next time, and then
While this information is being passed out to you, make sure you do take each one of these flyers because they're really important. This is kind of a life and death thing going on right here now in Geauga County. If we can beat these guys, if Skip can win, then we have a chance. I mean, it's no act, it was like Obama Incorporated. Now, moving along on the agenda, Elsie is starting a lending library. We have some books on the table up there, and you can go up there, and Elsie will be there after the meeting. You can sign up and take a book, take it home with you, read it, then bring it back in August. So we can, and in fact, if you have any books at home, that's what I did. I brought some of my books that I've read, and I'm not going to read them again anytime soon because there's so many other books we have to read here. But you can take those home and read them, and if you have any books of your own that you'd like to bring that you think would be good, that people would like to read about, then by all means you can do that too. And then before Linda comes up and talks about what she's doing as far as different activities she's headed up, I just want you to notice on this agenda, tomorrow is a National Day of Protest against amnesty and what's going on at the border. So if you come Friday tomorrow from 11 to 1 at the intersection of Cherry and 44.
Where's Cherry?
Well, look it up on the map. It's next to 44.
I know where 44 is.
Just look, it's on, you can find it, I'm sure, if you look. And then the other thing to notice is the Dinesh D'Souza's movie, America. It's having a special showing. It says right here, July 24th at 6:30 p.m. They're having a special showing up at the Great Lakes Mall in Mentor for Kim Laurie. It's a fundraiser for her, and this is really a great movie. I haven't seen it, but Rush says it's wonderful.
It's great.
Yeah, Linda has seen it.
What's that date and time again?
It's on the agenda. It's on the agenda. I'm just telling you what's on it. It's at the bottom of the agenda. And then, if you notice on the back of the agenda, this came from Tom Z. And it's a way for us to get lower electricity and gas rates, while at the same time a portion of what we think goes to the Ohio Liberty Coalition. So this is a great thing to do. In the back, it shows you exactly the steps you take. It's really simple, and you can save some money. So I know time is marching on. So Linda, you want to come up and talk about?
All right, everybody get your pens and paper out. I'm going to give you some important dates.
So you also have an agenda and some flyers, so you can write on it.
First thing that I want to tell you about is that on Monday, the 28th, that's this coming Monday, Frank Gaffney, have you seen him on Fox News? Sorry, the following Monday. Thank you. But it's still the 28th. Monday the 28th. Frank Gaffney, who you've probably seen on Fox News, he's on the Benghazi paddle, and he is going to be in Brecksville. and he's going to be talking about specifically the Muslim Brotherhood in America, the enemy within. Folks, if you don't know what's happening to our country from absolutely within, starting at the White House, from the Muslim Islamic standpoint, you need to find out. And this is the event that you need to go to. It's $5. You can pay online. I mean, you can make your reservation online and pay in person. These flyers are on the back table. There should be enough here for everyone to take one. So I hope you will pick one up, and I hope to see you there. It's at the Brecksville Community Center, right there. Big, 7 o'clock sharp he's starting. They're saying to be there by 6:30. Okay, so that's item number 1, the 28th, Frank Gaffney. Okay, item number 2, before I go there though, last month I told you about Liberty Camp in Portage County. And Chris and I are both working that. I'm actually going to be in charge of the Boston Tea Party, and that starts on Monday the 28th. And we're in costume, and I want to tell you, we've got 2 weeks with 60 children each week that we are teaching what happened to found, to form and found this country. The Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, the Minutemen, you name it, we're teaching them all those things. So I'm actually interested in looking at that from the perspective of, wouldn't it be great if we could do that at Century Village here in Geauga County and counteract this diluting that our schools are doing with our history for our kids. So I wanted to tell you we're successfully, fully enrolled on that. All right, now, let's see, first thing coming up, September 21st. Mark that day down. It's a Sunday. And we are doing a fundraiser over at the EOUV Hall on Pekin Road. You know that wonderful Hungarian facility that is just manicured, it's just beautiful. They have given us a fabulous arrangement, and we are doing a fundraiser called Fiddle for Freedom. Bluegrass, lots of violins, banjos, and we're going to raise money to hopefully help our conservative candidates here in Geauga County. So that's the purpose. We're making the meal very reasonably priced thanks to the EOUV Hall, and we're making it family friendly so that we want to encourage families to bring their children, again, so that they can start getting a taste of patriotism from what it is and should be from the days of our founding to today. So that'll be from 3 until 8, September 21st. Now, did I say that right?
Yes.
Okay, September 21st. Okay, moving on the calendar. October 11th. October 11th, I'm working with a team to bring in the parents of one of the fallen SEAL Team 6 members. Remember, they were shot down right after, within 90 days of taking out Bin Laden. Folks, you don't have to be a brain surgeon to connect the dots between the stupidity of how we're fighting a war where we can't fire at people because there might be friendlies in there, and that we take the mindset that we have to win the hearts and minds of our enemies in Afghanistan. I will tell you one thing that's in the book, and the rest you can learn when you come to hear them. But when those young boys flew into Afghanistan on that mission on a 50-year-old helicopter, which cannot move very well if they're being shot at, there were 2 other helicopters with them that could have defended them, and they were told to stand down, not to shoot, because they could hurt a friendly. Now, I want you to all go out and rent that movie, Monuments Men, and I want you to see how that military leader reacted when the men from Monuments Men came up and said, don't fire on this church tower because we're saving it because it's a landmark. You know, he threw the paper back at the guys and said, you're not getting me to write a letter to some mother saying that we sacrificed her son for a church tower. Well, you know, we're sacrificing our young men and women, and they're coming back wounded by the tens of thousands because we have these rules of engagement that says they can't be playing war the way we have to win a war, the way we have to play war to win. And it's just a pathetic shame. So that's October 11th. The venue is to be decided yet, I'm sorry, but it will be from 3 to 5 in the afternoon. So please, I hope you'll attend. There'll be a nominal charge for that. And we're collecting that money just to cover the expenses of the Vaughns. So the last thing that I want to tell you about is we're going to do something tonight, and I'm going to do it for the next 3 nights, relative to the fundraiser that we're doing at the EOUV Hall. To get the musicians, I need hundreds of dollars. Well, so I thought I would try to defray that. And so we're going to have a book raffle tonight. And we have raffles, we have books here from, it's about Liberty Stupid, a signed copy by Seth Morgan, all the way down to a documentary on the Revolutionary War that you can tell has been used, which means it's not been diluted by our current politically correct publishing methods. So I'm going to pass my dog biscuit container around with some raffle tickets. And if you would like to win one of these books of your choice, put $1 in, take a raffle ticket, put $2 in. I don't care, but take a raffle ticket and just take your part of it and keep the rest of it coming around. And at the end of the night, we'll announce who won the book, and you can come up and pick one out that you want. And God bless you for helping us, because that event in September for our fundraiser will be a terrific event, and you will start providing the money for it. So thank you, and you know, just stand strong, folks. We are really in a time that needs every one of us. And you know, talk to your friends, talk to your neighbors, get them here. We need support, and we need to get the word out to these people that we are nothing more than caring, loving Americans who are trying to save our country from destruction. Thank you.
How many pastors are here tonight? Raise your hand. Very good. Praise the good Lord. How many people are here off the radio program? Raise your hand. Listen to me on the radio. Very, very good. Very quickly, I wanted to say, Ralph Self, stand up, Ralph. Ralph is the former chaplain of Jug County Jail. I've known him for a long time, and he has a program that he wants to use to help raise money for the Jug County Right to Life and here for the Tea Party. He'll be sitting at a table here at the end of the meeting today, and you can stop by, and it's something that is very, very easy for you, and is something that everybody needs. And so you stop by and talk to Ralph, and he'll tell you, give you a quick update. And that way you can help us. Boy, you know, I tell you, it's hard when you're up against, I know, we've been battling Planned Parenthood for years, and folks, they can outspend us by 1,000 to 1, but we're pushing them back. So if God is in it, we're going to win it. Amen? With that, we are honored and thrilled tonight to have with us from Citizens for Community Values, Phil Burris. I've known Phil for years. You may have heard him on the radio program over the years. He is nationally known. He is a real strategist. He's very, very politically savvy, and we sit together on a number of boards, Ohio Pro-Life Action Committee. And with that, I'd like to welcome Phil Burris. Come on up here, Phil.
Thanks, Pastor. It really is an honor to be here because each and every one of you could be doing something else tonight, but you're here because you care about your country, and you care about your families, and you care about what's going on, and I really appreciate that. I'm going to be going through this rather quickly, and I'm going to try to cover some things. First, how many of you know, have you heard the name Citizens for Community Values, or CCV? Okay. Those that raise your hand, do you know who we are and what we do? Kinda? You just heard the name. Okay, I kind of figured this because we were birthed in Cincinnati, and the Northeast is probably our weakest area in the state. We were founded as a result of the Billy Graham Crusade in 1977 by a group of pastors. Our gift and why we're here and why we exist is to work with the churches and to work with primarily evangelical Christians. So we've been here 31 years. We started in Cincinnati because Cincinnati was the home to Larry Flint, had porn stores and strip bars on every corner, and the pastor said it was destroying our marriages, it was destroying the problem. We have to address this issue, but we can't do it, the pastor said. So we're going to start an organization where the people can go and get involved, something like the Tea Party, and you can make a difference and work on strategy and work on, and I was involved as a volunteer because I knew the harm that pornography caused. I was addicted to pornography for 25 years. I was raised in a Christian home, went to church 3 times a week, but pornography got its grips on me. And today you can't find anyone from 10 years old or older that has not been exposed to pornography, either accidental or on purpose. It is everywhere, and it is devouring our children. We went after them, and today Cincinnati is the largest metropolitan area in the United States that has no strip bars and no pornography stores. Amen. We have been fighting it for a long time. We went to Columbus and tried to do something there. They basically laughed me out of the city chambers, said, why would we want to close down these places? They're businesses. We ended up going to the ballot. We passed a Community Defense Act, which requires all strip bars and all pornography stores to close down between midnight and 6 a.m. It's state law, and the dancers are not allowed to touch the patrons. If the law was enforced, there wouldn't be any strip bars in Ohio today. But law enforcement is ignoring those laws. We passed that through the legislature, much to the fact that they did not want to, but we put together the team of churches. Today in Ohio we have 17,000 churches. 10,800 of those have been recognized as Bible-believing churches. 4,800 of those are part of our network and preach the gospel and get involved, register people to vote, and get them out to vote. In 2012, CCV, we bought a van, a 25-foot van, we wrapped it in Vote Your Values. We traveled 14,000 miles in all 88 counties and visited 2,200 churches, passing out key information to pastors that they can give to their parishioners. Yes, many churches out there are just museums, that's true, but there's a lot of churches out there that are really doing great work today. We also have a plan called the Key Pastor, Key Contact Person. In every house district, all 99 house districts, this is almost completed. Pastor Sanders is our key pastor in this area, but in all 99 house districts we got a key volunteer that works with us in that house district and also a key pastor. So we are statewide, we have donors in all 88 counties, and we've been blanketing the state for a long time. You've seen our work, you just don't know who we were and what we did. And the first topic that I was going to talk about was when conservatives win, looking back. In 2004, I was involved in the marriage amendment and recognized that we had to do this. In 1996, I had a meeting in Memphis, Tennessee, where we addressed the marriage issue in Hawaii, and we ended up winning Hawaii and Alaska by a 70-30 vote, and then it just swept across the country. But in 2004, May 17th, they started marrying same-sex couples in Massachusetts. On May 18th, I called our lawyers into the office and our staff, and I said, we're going to change Ohio's Constitution to protect the institution of marriage. It was 168 days before the election. If you don't believe in miracles, look what happened. Go to our webpage, ccv.org. There's a whole video about it, 168 days of miracle. We didn't even have language, and yet we went out and collected 557,000 signatures. We put it on the ballot. I was sued 42 times in 38 different counties. We went before the Ohio Supreme Court. We won every case. It went on the ballot, and we won by a 62-38 majority. If we had not done that, not just Ohio, 31 states have gone to the polls and said marriage is between one man and one woman. The media and homosexual activists are the only ones that are saying that this fight is over. In what other contest can you be winning 31-3 and say you're losing? There's only 3 states where the people have voted for same-sex marriage. There's 31 states where the people have voted marriages between one man and one woman by over a 60 percentile range. So don't believe the lies, folks. We're winning this battle. We just finished a poll ourselves. and we found only 33% of people that planned to vote in 2014, because they were saying that they were going to repeal the marriage amendment in 2014. Now they're saying 2016. But we did a poll, and we only found 33% of the people that said that they would vote for same-sex marriage in Ohio. So don't believe the lies. Stop listening to the press and turn off CNN. So I hope you're not listening to it at all. I mentioned the community defense. In 1993, the homosexual activists in Cincinnati passed what they called a human rights ordinance, which gave special rights, like it's the '64 Civil Rights Act. They were comparing themselves to African Americans, saying they're just like them and they deserve protection. We had some major donors in Cincinnati. We spent almost $2 million to prove that being a homosexual is not a minority class. You're not entitled to special privileges because of who you have sex with. It's common sense. So we went to court, and what we did was we changed the city charter. We collected 22,000 signatures. We put it on the ballot, and the people of Cincinnati voted. The city council cannot pass any laws based on sexual orientation. It went to the federal courts, and we won unanimously. The federal courts agreed that homosexuality is not a minority class, and they're not entitled to special privileges. All this talk about homosexual rights and gay rights, those are special rights. They have the same rights as you and me right now. They're not entitled to rights that you and I don't have.
Right.
So, voter education. We've come light years since even 2004 when we won the marriage amendment. We now have a database, and we may be able to help the gentleman here who's under fire. We can't do everything, but we can do something. And we now have a database of 7.2. Every registered voter in the state of Ohio we now have in our database. That's easy. Anyone can go out and get that. But what we have is we know 300 things about every one of them. The other side has had this for 15 years. Now we have it. Every one of you in this room, if you're a registered voter, we can tell you where you are on a scale between 1 and 10. 10 means you're pro-life, pro-family. 1 means you're a left-wing liberal wacko. Something like that. But anyway, we know and the scary part about this is the fact this information, every time you buy something, every time you're out there, kids on Facebook and everything else, all that information is being sold, and they can tell you what you believe and how you vote. But this database is absolutely incredible. I can go in if I wanted to, and I could take a person, I could zoom in on I got a picture of their home, I know how many kids, I know whether they have animals, I know it's scary how much everyone knows about you now. And that's what it's all done for, also for sales and targeting and marketing and everything else. But we now have that database. I'll give you a quick example. I live in a township called Westchester, 65,000 people. We refuse to be a city because we don't want them to be able to tax us. So we have 2 high schools of 2,500 each, and we're still a township. This lady was on the school board, was on the township trustee for 20 years. I voted for her every time. She was the top vote getter. And the new president of the trustees called me and said, "Phil, you got to come down. I got to show you something." So I went over and he showed me where she's been giving money to Emily's List. Everyone know who Emily's List is? Pro-abortion for women. For 20 years, ever since she's been elected. So we went into this database. I found 6,000 tens, which means they're pro-life, pro-family. I sent postcards into their homes. There were 4 people running for 2 seats. She finished 3rd by 700 votes. And the day after the election, she says, "I don't know what happened." Well, we do, because now we have the technology that the other side has had for years, and it goes all the way down to precinct level, folks. All the way down to precinct. County, whatever you want. We can do robocalls. You know, we don't have the money to do it. You've got to come up with the money. But I can get you that list if you want to call all the 10s and 9s in your community and you want to get them to the polls and you want to vote. But there's certain stipulations to this. I can't give you the list. We have to do it. And if I told you who was behind this and why they're giving us this list, we're not even paying for it. They're giving it to us so we can win. ccvaction.org. ccvaction.org. You want to remember that. ccvaction.org. We also have gone high-tech with our voter information. In the past, you went to our website, and you brought up our website. Every year, for the last 5 years, we send everybody who's running for public office a postcard. And it says between 24 and 26% of evangelicals will go to the polls and vote. Do you want their votes? If so, go to our website, download our questionnaire. If you go there, you can see it. We got one for judicial candidates, one for others. We go all the way down to dog catcher, school board. We go all the way down, everybody. And we say, do you want to endorse? So you go to ccbaction.org and you see who has asked for our endorsement. We have an endorsement committee, and probably 3 out of 4 people that ask for our endorsement get it. We have 3 non-negotiable issues. If you're wrong on any one of these 3 issues, we will fight you and kick you out of office if you're wrong on one of these things. And this includes Rob Portman. If you're wrong on life, if you're wrong on marriage, or you're wrong on religious liberties, any one of those 3, and we have proof that you're wrong on any one of these things, we're out to beat you, and we will. Amen. Rob Portman will not get reelected. On August 23rd, we're having a meeting, and I have this group called How Do We Hold These People Accountable? We have a group called the Ohio Pro Family Forum. My background